Let me guess. Your inner critic knows the best. It's always got some wise advice for you. It's always critical of everything that you do, overanalyzes everything, throws you a curveball when you don't expect one, and perhaps it's armed with one of these for closer examination. Well, let me tell you, mine is armed with one of these. And it was the night of the Tony Robbins' live challenge last summer, when I decided to burn all of my boats. I said, I am going all in. I decided to fight my inner critic. That day, I was going to win. I pressed that live button in a group of over 80,000 people at that time. 700 of them were watching live. I was going live to tell the story of my business. And my business at that time was copywriting. So I want to share with you that story, but I want to give you behind the scenes. I want you to enjoy it with me. I want you to laugh with me at this video, because you're going to know what is going on inside my head as I'm delivering that story. It was a battle between me and my inner critic. I was scared, I was nervous, my mouth was completely dried, and I couldn't think of anything else but don't faint, don't faint. I never fainted in my life. I really don't know where did it come up with that idea that I was going to faint. But those were the voices going over and over in my head. And I was calming myself down as I was delivering the message. And I was saying, no, you got this. This is your moment. You can do this. And something held me together. With all of this dialogue going in through my head, I thought this is going to be a mess. And then halfway through, something unexpected happened. My daughter arrived from work earlier than expected. Somehow I handled that as well during this live recording. But I want to bring your attention to two things. That yes, you can do things that are uncomfortable, and for something this drastic, when you haven't been ever live in such a large group, I want you to know that you can push yourself into that little bit of uncomfortable, because you only need to do it once. When you conquer this fear once, when you push through it just once, it's going to be beautiful what you can do from there on, right? Everything else is just going to bring you immense joy. And you're going to laugh at yourself and say, if I could do this, I can do anything. And number two, I want you to pay attention to the story that I was telling, because through everything that I was experiencing, as uncomfortable as it was inside me, this raging battle, I actually delivered the message, and people said, thank you for sharing this with us. It was really helpful. So I did it for them. I removed myself from the picture. I removed my fear, and I threw away this little tool from the hands of my inner critic. You can do the same thing as well. Enjoy the video, my friends. I'm happy to share it with you. I don't have bloopers reels because I like to put imperfect videos out there in the world. But this one, I think, can top any blooper once you know the inside story. Enjoy. So it's early morning hour, and my brother and I are walking out of this party. And he turns up to me and he says, "You just had to do it, didn't you?" We come to the car, and obviously he knows what I done, and we start laughing, and we laugh all the way home. The thing is, my brother and I are both introverts, and we would much rather stay at home and talk about life's big mysteries. But if I'm going to attend a party, I refuse to sit there in total silence. So I went there. I started a big subject like I normally do. And I don't just start the conversations, I actually ignite conversations. I talk about things that really matter to people. People pay attention, and I hold this space for them in which they feel safe to share their story without even noticing it. So this party was a hit, and our friends still to this day talk about it. But if I didn't open my mouth, none of that would have happened. So I want you to fast forward now 18 years from there, and we're still not in this day. We're 2 years ago. I am now starting my art business, and I quickly am realizing I need to learn some new skills, such as marketing. So I enroll onto this big marketing course that comes with this big, huge community, much like this one. And the community is brilliant and supportive, and all these creative people inside. And they talk about things like design and collections, releasing collections. They talk about marketing. They're excelling at all of those things. But there is one particular pain area that I notice that is constantly flashing like a red light, is just flagging up as we go. And that is, hello. Sorry, my daughter just arrived. I am live, sorry. And that is copy. They are struggling to come up with daily new content for their websites, for their blog posts. And at this point, I'm happily writing blog. I'm hosting a podcast where I feature these creative artists who come and share their stories. I'm holding this space for them. So what happens next is people start offering me money to write their blog posts for them. They offer me money to write emails for their email list. But I'm very cautious about this because I don't like doing that. And I remember what happened back in school when I was writing love letters for my friends. That was not going to end well. I was going to be like Cyrano. So I refrained from that. But there is this passion that I discover, and the passion is actually teaching people how to become better writers themselves. Because I've already done this process, I've broken it into little steps. And although there are many steps involved, there are only 2 things that you really need to master. Without mastering either one of these, you're not going to succeed at being a successful writer. So the first thing is writing from this place of true confidence that comes from within. That always has to come from within. And the second thing is getting out of your own head first, before you sit down to write. And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, but Katarina, how can I get out of my head and then sit down to write? What is going to come out? The answer is simple. And even though it is simple to explain, it may take longer to actually learn how to implement it. You see, the writing process is a creative process with your higher self. you're writing in concert with your inner being. And once you sit down to write from this place, you are never ever stuck for something to say. It comes out in an authentic way, and you never ever suffer from something that's called writer's block. And just tell me how many of you have ever heard of that. So I have come up with a solution how to actually eliminate this, and I never suffered from this myself. So if you want to learn more, I will tell you more about it tomorrow. This is my first ever live. I obviously went 2 minutes over the time limit. I do apologize for that. I wish you all the best, and I hope to see you tomorrow. I will be looking out for your homeworks. This was homework 2 for me, and my first ever live in the group. So I appreciate your support, and I'm sorry I've gone over time. So wishing you all the best, and see you tomorrow. Big, huge thanks to our mentors, because without you, we would not have this opportunity to actually push ourselves out of our comfort zone, to present something new, to come up with something new, and to help other people improve their skills in many, many, many areas that all of us are participating in. So good night from me, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye for now.